Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel. That's Shan Style. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shan. And today's video is going to be a story time about my very first solo international trip to Oman. And trust me when I say this trip tested my patience, my emotional stability, my packing skills, and almost my entire existence. Also, stay till the end because in part 2, I will tell you how I was stopped by the police at Muscat airport. It's full of content. The police opened my luggage because I was a bit suspicious. Yeah. My luggage was open, and for a moment, I genuinely thought I was in trouble. But before we get there, let's start from the beginning. So, my sister moved to Oman shortly after her marriage. She had been living here almost 7 to 8 months, and finally, she was planning to visit India. Before she come back to India, my husband had another plan. He wanted me to come to Oman so that I could spend some quality time with my sister since we haven't seen each other for so long. And honestly, I had absolutely no idea this was coming. One random day, my husband sent me a message saying that he had already booked my ticket and arranged my visa. I was literally shocked. I remember staring at my phone and thinking, wait, what? I'm going to Oman for 3 months? I didn't even have time to process it. I hadn't planned anything. I hadn't packed anything. I didn't know what I need to take. I knew basic cooking, but I had no idea how to manage a home for 3 months on my own. I didn't know all the recipes my mom makes, and suddenly I was expected to move to another country for a few months. Meanwhile, my mom was super excited. You know how mothers are. She immediately switched into preparation mode. She started buying everything for me: pickles, homemade masalas, chili powder, snacks, frozen coconuts. And because I was first going to stay with my sister for a week in Muscat before going to my husband's place, that's in Dukum. There is a 7 to 8 hours journey from Muscat to Dukum. My mom decided that I should also carry food for my sister. Since Eid was approaching, my mom lovingly prepared moode and beef curry so that we could celebrate together in Oman. Very sweet, right? Well, it wasn't sweet for my luggage allowance because suddenly I wasn't just carrying my things, I was carrying enough food supplies to open a small Malayali grocery store in Oman. My airline allowance was 30 kg check-in luggage and 7 kg hand luggage. Simple, but my mother had different plans. Just the powders, spices, and homemade items were around 20 kg. Then came snacks, pickles, frozen curry, moodet, then things for my sister, my own clothes, my personal items, then a gift. At this point, I was packing for a trip. I was migrating an entire household. For 2 straight days before my flight, I barely slept. I would wake up in the middle of a night, remove a few items from my luggage, check the weight again, put something else back in, and repeat the entire process. It became a full-time job. Finally, somehow, I managed to make my luggage around 30 to 31 kg and my handbag around 8 kg. Then my father gave me what he thought was genius idea. He said, take a laptop bag. Usually they don't count laptop bags. And my mother heard that and thought, wonderful, more storage space. She immediately filled my laptop bag with sweets and extra items. At this point, I had simply surrendered to fate. The funniest part, this was my first international trip alone. I had traveled international before to Saudi Arabia, but my family had been with me. This time, I was completely on my own, and honestly, I was terrified. My husband specially booked a direct flight from Kannur to Muscat because he didn't want me to struggle with connecting flights. Even then, I was nervous. The morning of my flight, I woke up extremely early. I checked my luggage weight again and again and again, even though I had already checked it 100 times before. I just couldn't trust that weighing machine anymore. Then came my survival strategy. Since I knew my luggage was heavy, I decided to wear multiple layers of clothes. And when I say multiple layers, I mean seven. 7 outfits. Yes, 7. I literally became my own walking suitcase. I only checked luggage weight, not human weight. So there I was, sweating, unable to move properly, dressed for every possible season. My mom came to pick me up, and my mom's cousin drove us from Mangalore to Kannur airport. During the journey, he kept giving me advice. He said, don't take anything from strangers. If someone asks you to carry a bag, say no. Think about yourself first. You cannot trust anyone. And honestly, that advice stayed with me throughout the trip. It was long drive. We stopped for lunch, but I couldn't barely eat. First of all, I was extremely nervous. Second of all, I was wearing 7 outfits. Eating comfortably was physically impossible. I was worried I might get sick from anxiety. Finally, we reached Kannur airport around 2:30 p.m. I guess. I went to ask about my flight. They told me me check-in counter would open at 3:30 p.m. So I went back outside to spend some time with my family. Little did I know, the real adventure was just about to begin. And trust me, nothing could have prepared me for what happened at the check-in counter. So if you want to know how I almost had complete breakdown over luggage weight, airport staff member became my guardian angel, and how I survived my first solo international trip, don't forget to subscribe because part 2 is going to be even crazier, because that's when Muscat Airport Police enter the story. I will see you in part 2.